Good evening. We're back with some more Marvel Snap and beginning the night at rank 12. Changed the deck up a little bit from the last video. I will show it in just a moment. So the leftmost academy is going, or the leftmost location is going to be Strange Academy. After turn 5, move all cards here to other random locations. Not one of my favorite locations. It's pretty much just an RNG location. And the opponent's going to come down with Rocket Raccoon. If you, the viewer, are wondering why I always play Quicksilver to the rightmost location on turn 1, it's because he doesn't benefit from playing at a location as another, at the same location as another card, and cards like Rocket Raccoon do. Rocket Raccoon would get, I think, +2 or 3 if I had played Quicksilver at the leftmost location. So I always play to the right location because it's the least played to location on the first turn in my experience. The middle location, if you only have one card here, it has 5+5 power. And Medusa goes down to the right location. Cards here with the highest power have their power doubled. Alright. And I have a blank turn on turn 3. That is absolutely terrible. So at this point I'm thinking it is unlikely I'm going to win this game. A blank turn, any blank turn is awful, but when you get something like a blank turn on 3, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. And my opponent just has Hawkeye on turn 4, so that kind of evens things out. So I'm thinking about Abomination here and not Iron Man. Iron Man would be real good on the middle location, but he's not really needed there. He'd be equivalent power to Abomination, but I want to make a play for the right location and just concede the left location. Because Abomination with his power doubled is going to be very high value. There's only 1 or 2 cards that are better than him that I know of, Hulk being one of them. So we're tied at middle after the reshuffle, and I just straight up win there. So I don't think my opponent could have taken the right location, and I don't think he could have taken left either. After the reshuffle, I think I also could have taken center if I'd wanted to, because he had 4 there, and don't think I was full, so. On to the next round. Strange Academy again. So once again, Quicksilver to the right location, avoiding Rocket Raccoon, and opponent has a blank turn. That's good. After turn 4, destroy all cards controlled by the player, losing here. So that is an all or nothing location. And opponent has another blank turn. Either he's having a terrible time, he's AFK, or he's playing some strategy I'm unaware of. There's probably a lot of strategies unaware of because I'm free to play. I haven't really looked at a full list of what cards exist in the game, and haven't unlocked that many myself. So Hulkbuster is gonna eat Medusa and keep that card slot open. And he's got Mr. Fantastic. I like Mr. Fantastic a lot. So Jessica Jones is going to be the play here. Jessica Jones is always going to be the play on round 4. We'll make a play for the Strange Academy. And the opponent is going middle with Morph, become a copy of a random card. And of course he gets the Hulk and not one of the lower powered guys. And thanks to that, I lose my card at the center location. So I'm going to need to take left and right. Well, I don't have to concede middle. I've got Shang-Chi. So I'm gonna contest it. The value there in destroying the Hulk is too much to ignore. So we're tied at middle now. And after the reshuffle, I am leading but barely. And Hulk with his 12 should win me the game. Let's see. So, yeah. We each win one location, and I win on points by 2. Hulk OP. And that's worth 8 cubes, so that's nice. And we are on to the next game. For those curious about the deck, it'll be in the video description. And I will talk about it as the games go on and probably at the end of the video. I swapped in Hulkbuster for the what's it called? The wolf guy. Once again, avoiding Rocket Raccoon with Quicksilver. Interesting, I haven't seen that location before. Now a turn 7 game. Or a 7-turn game. So I often like to play Star-Lord to the blank location on turn 2, whichever one that is. When I play to the right, my opponent plays to the left. Often they'll play something to the center, so I stick Star-Lord there. But in this case, he whiffs. Elysium, cards cost 1 less. Interesting. So a lot of cards are going to be played this game. 7-turn game, cards cost 1 less. That's kind of a fun combination. Right now I'm not really thinking about contesting the left location. I'll just focus on the other 2. So I got Iron Man and Nightcrawler here. So I'll probably put both of those at the right location and get that up to 16 power. That's a pretty strong turn. And I've got Hulk for next turn, and we'll see what I draw for later. Devil Dino. That is a card I wish I had. Seems quite powerful. In this case, it's just a 5/9, but now a 5/11. It has synergy with some cards like Sentinel. Anything that'll add more cards to your hand. So I've got Hulk and Abomination. That's pretty good. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. Hawkeye, okay, and Iron Man. So Hulk going to the middle location is probably going to go to waste because I don't think I'm going to win that location with Iron Man there. Could have put him at Nidavellir and probably won the left and right locations if I put Abomination there as well. think this might have been a bad play here. Maybe Mr. Fantastic center conceding the center lane and Abomination left would have been better, depending on what I draw next round. But maybe there was just no winning this one. If I had put Hulk and Abomination on the left location, I'd be at 26 right now. Plus Mr. Fantastic's 2 would be 28. Could probably win with Jessica Jones. Well, I don't know if I'd win with Jessica Jones. The opponent hadn't really played a 6-drop, so maybe I just wasn't going to win that one. I'm not sure. I think it might have been in hindsight, it was a mistake to fight for center with my opponent having Iron Man. But, I'm not sure if I made the right plays there or not. So if you have no cards here, +1 energy each turn, so I want to wait until turn 5 or 6 to play anything there so I get the maximum benefit of the extra resources. So I'll play Star-Lord center, guessing that my opponent would play something there. And he does. And cards here with the highest power have their power doubled. That's great. Opponent is going to contest Throne Room. Mr. Fantastic. Cards here with no abilities have +3 power. I don't like those cards, so I don't play them. I would if Washington, D.C. was a featured location, though. So Jessica Jones, gonna have her secure the right location, I mean. And the opponent plays something to the left location, so he won't get the benefit of the +1 energy anymore. I'm thinking Iron Man middle. He'll be 10 power for 5 costs right now. I'm not sure there's anything my opponent could play on 5 that would equal that. So we've got Hulkbuster and Sentinel. So we'll leave a slot open. Use Hulkbuster to add some more power to the right location and still leave a slot open for the 6th round if I need it. If your opponent played a card here +5, so that's a 12 power for 7 costs, that's pretty good. And I don't get Hulk, but I'm gonna make a play for the left location here. Maybe my opponent feels he needs to contest the right location and doesn't play anything left, in which case I would take it by 1. And it appears that's going to work. I lose center, but I take right, and then I take left as well. By 1, so, yeah. Making the play, the minimum play at the Superflow works out. Add a squirrel to each location. I don't like that one too much. Rocket Raccoon. Pretty popular one drop. So these locations are pretty clogged. Hulkbuster will be good here, adding an additional slot. So we are dead even at the moment. Cards here are not revealed until the game ends. Okay. So I did get the Hulkbuster on turn 3 right on time. And hopefully the Hulkbuster eats the -2 ninja. But then it would be Hulkbuster's -2 power, right? So I guess it doesn't matter which card he eats. And my opponent does the exact same thing. Jessica Jones is a good draw. So I'll contest the left location with her. And force my opponent to play a 6 power card on the left location for his final slot. And I'm going to concede middle. And I'll focus on right and left. I'll force my opponent to play 11 power on right and 6 power on left to catch up to me. And they play something middle, so that's good for this strategy that I'm playing. And so I've got 6. I'm ahead by 6 on left. And with Abomination on right, I'm going Hulk with left and expecting to win here. There's no way opponent can take left, and they'll need 11 power on right to take that, so I think it looks pretty good. So that plan worked out pretty well. So what do we got? When you play a card here, add a copy to another location. Okay, so we want to maximize that. Don't want to play low cost cards there. Want to probably only play, we're definitely going to want to play 4 cards there, and probably just start playing cards there on turn 3. But I don't do that. I don't think that was a particularly, well, I take that back because the copy of Star-Lord does get the buff, so not a terrible play. In hindsight, not a terrible play. I like what I was thinking there. I forgot about that copy of Star-Lord getting the buff from the opposing enemy. And to be honest, I'm not sure I actually knew about that when I played the card there. It may have been a bad play, and I just got lucky. Card with the highest power here gets +3 power. So Hulk will be 15 there. So I'm going to get a copy of Colossus here. And then probably copy Iron Man and Hulk and expect to win most of the time. Don't know why I haven't snapped yet. Probably just didn't think of it. So the opponent will get up to 21 there. Oh, I lose my final slot on Sinister London. That's unfortunate. But I do have 2 copies of Iron Man, so I don't get the 2 copies of Hulk. But at least I have the 2 copies of Iron Man. I'm ahead by 8 on 1. I'm going to win the right location. Now I finally snap. That'll be a victory. So here is the deck that I'm playing. Nightcrawler, Quicksilver, Medusa, Star-Lord, Colossus, Sentinel, Mr. Fantastic, Hulkbuster, Jessica Jones, Iron Man, Abomination, and Hulk. I swapped in Colossus for assistance on those locations that have debuffs or things like that. I swapped in Hulkbuster. I like Hulkbuster a little bit more than Ironheart. Ironheart can be a 3/6 at the right time, but it's very RNG card, very high in RNG, because you don't control where the buff goes a lot of the time, and it could go in places that are just kind of useless. So it ends up as a 3-cost 2 power or a 3-cost 4 power card, which would be the same as Hulkbuster a lot of the time, and Hulkbuster has utility in that he opens up an additional slot. So he's a way to add power to a location that already has 3 characters at it without using up your invaluable 4th slot. So I like that card a little bit. It's not the strongest 3-drop. It'll probably get swapped out when something better becomes available. But for now, I'm liking it a little bit. And Colossus, also a utility card. Nightcrawler has utility. And then we got Jessica Jones, which is going to be in every deck for quite a while, I imagine. That's a really good card. And Iron Man, Abomination, and Hulk as the finishers. Those are the 3 best finishers available to me at this time, in my opinion. So, on to another round. And cloning vats. When you play a card here, add a copy to your hand. Devil Dino would be very, very good with the cloning vats on the table. Turn 6, you can move cards to this location, so that complicates the game quite a bit. Gonna definitely focus on the left and right locations, even though Medusa is really good at the middle location. And important to note, if Star-Lord gets the buff here, then a 2-cost 5 power card will be added to my hand. At least I think that's the way it works. But no luck. So we'll get Hulkbuster there to the cloning vats. He could also make a case for Monster Metropolis, but I wanted to open up the Hulkbuster with the cloning vats combo, because that gives me a 2-cost 6 power card. That is very strong value with the Hulkbuster there. And then I definitely want to clone that again. I'm able to get a 2-cost 9 power card now. So normally I would play Abomination here, but in this case, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I wouldn't play Star-Lord plus other things. But I didn't. So I'm going to take the right location. I've got an 11-point lead on the cloning vats, and I've got Hulk. I would say a win here is likely. Though I can... The New York location does complicate things. I don't need everyone that I have on the right location to win it. So I should move Star-Lord here to New York. And probably just play Hulk to the cloning vats. But I didn't do that. I think this is not the best play. It's going to work out, but I don't think that's the best play. I should have just played Hulk to the cloning vats. Take the win on left and right. Because what if my opponent abandoned right entirely, seeing as how he lost there, and somehow, like, is there a combination of things he could have played that would have won him New York even over my 17? Maybe, but then I don't think he could have won left too, so maybe there was no way for me to really lose at that point. I'm not sure. And we're on to the next round. Throne room, that is the featured location. No, somebody else played to the far right with Quicksilver. Put a card from each player's hand here. Not Abomination. What's it gonna be? Jessica Jones. Oof. Ouch. Well, that's not great. So I choose correctly with Star-Lord, but he gets a buff too with Rocket Raccoon. Sentinel and Nightcrawler. Probably concede Sakaar and just focus on the other two locations. So Medusa's going left. So I am ahead. Jessica Jones helps secure the right location. Blade, have not seen that before. Discard a card from your hand. That is interesting. Seeing the Iron Man discard, I'm gonna go for the snap. With Abomination and Hulk to follow, I'm liking my chances quite a lot after seeing Iron Man discarded. So I'm up by 16 on the left and I'm up by 9 on the right, so I'll just throw Hulk wherever, really. He could go middle even. What I was thinking here was, what if he puts Hulk on the left location, but I could have just gone Hulk left too. I don't think this really mattered too much where I put Hulk. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's a nice 8-cube victory. So we'll finish at rank 15. And that'll be all for this video. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the play here. There was one game, the one with the Devil Dinosaur, where I think I could have done things differently, but I'm not sure what specifically. Otherwise, there are some small errors, some things that I'm looking at, and I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time. But overall, I think my play was pretty good. And I'm enjoying the game quite a bit. And we will see what happens in the future in terms of what cards we can unlock. I'm not entirely sure how the progression system works. It seems like the cards that unlock are the mystery cards are probably random. So it seems like the quality of your collection will vary based on RNG and based on the amount of money that you spend, which is typical for a card game. And I'm going to remain a free-to-play player, and I have cautious optimism that I'll be able to make high rank as I have in Hearthstone in the past. So, thank you for watching.